welcome to the City Show. Pat O'Melia here, you concerned resident there. That's why I do this show, because you're concerned. It is cold out there. Winter is arriving. It was quite chilly this morning when I was getting into the car, which brings me to a public service announcement. Service your cars. Don't wait until you're in the dead of winter. Jersey City people go up to Goyea on Central and Jefferson, do the oil, get the transmission fluid checked, check the belts, check your hoses. Winter is tough on a car. Very important with your antifreeze. Of course, you don't want anything freezing up. But people forget the fan belts, and when a lot of these cars now have one belt, the serpentine belt. Change the serpentine belt. Like Mario, look at it. If you think you got to change it up. Take care of the car. Make sure you check the rear. You know, everybody, you change your oil. I just did the transmission filters in my cars, but I also changed the oil in the rear. People always forget that. You want to burn out the rear in your car, you got a problem. Shop for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is next week. The second wave, we're going to be talking about it today, the second wave of COVID, it is starting again. You can bet you're going to see lines at the supermarkets to get in, and it'll be different than the last time because it's going to be cold outside. Walmart this Saturday is only allowing in 20% of their CO. So Target will do it, the supermarkets will do it. So after you listen to me today, or Thursday, I would get in the car and go food shopping, get all your Thanksgiving stuff now, and if you can, pick up the essentials. Don't wait to be caught. Get it now, and try to enjoy Thanksgiving. I know we're going to talk about it in the first segment, but try to enjoy Thanksgiving. Have your family there. We'll talk about it more when I come back from commercial. You're watching The City Show. I'll be right back.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net. Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
I'm back. Pat O'Melia here. You there? City Show, blah, blah, blah. Got my coffee. My lukewarm coffee. You know, a couple weeks ago, we were doing a demo on Hudson Health. For that matter, we're shooting another, probably a 10-minute demo that we'll put out in the public today with Hudson Health when we have the two doctors in here. Dr. Syed, Amir Syed said there's a second wave coming. I'm like, really? Another one of these? Man, was he right, because it is here. We've been, clocking in around 3,500 cases per day. I think Sunday it was 2,300 cases. It was a slow Sunday, I guess. What is amazing me is we know what we need to do, but yet we're not doing it. So the governor, of course, who loves, Father Murphy is back. Nothing he loved more than dropping the hammer on COVID. And he keeps saying, I hate to do this, but I have to do this. He's dropped the hammer, and as I said in the opening with Thanksgiving, he's going to be looking into your house Thanksgiving. He doesn't want you to have more than 10 people in your household. And I think Petrocelli, our health person, said wear the mask indoors for Thanksgiving. No singing, no yelling. Keep the volume down on the TV so people don't have to yell. I got a problem with this being in my home. It's like even in a studio. Mike and Jonathan here, they're wearing a mask. I come out of the office without my mask on, but in the studio, I feel like I'm home. We've been doing this for 8 months here with these same people. Hopefully, we don't go into a wave of COVID worse than the first, and that's what they're talking about. But for Thanksgiving, and probably going all through December, I will bet you, you can't have more than 10 people in your house. I have a hard time with that. who's going to be watching me? But one of the things the governor did, he set up that think line, where you can rat out your employer or some restaurant that's not abiding by the COVID. And that's really not what Jersey people do. But a lot of people moved into Jersey, I guess, because people are calling the think line. So your neighbor may notice cars in front of your house or in your driveway and says, oh, we might have a get-together. And I really doubt Mike Kelly and the JCPD are going to be kicking the doors, and the same thing with Tom's River or Seaside Heights. Tommy Boyd in Seaside Heights or Mitchell in Tom's River, I don't think they're going to be kicking in your doors, but some towns probably will. You know what you need to do. Thanksgiving, if anything, I guess keep it to immediate family. You know where your kids are. Don't bring in your cousin from Boston like that commercial with the Samuel Adams. Be smart. Do your due diligence. In Hoboken, they're going to fine you $1,000 if you're having some sort of a house party. For that matter, I think it was yesterday, they broke up 6 house parties. How did the chief of the Hoboken police know about these house parties? Because somebody dropped the dime on them. And they went in and they broke it up, and supposedly one was a fight club. When was the last effing time you heard anything about Fight Club? What are we, back in the 90s here? Is Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston still married? Fight Club? Give me a break. There's probably people having a fight at the gathering. But in Hoboken, they broke up 6, count them, 6 house parties. They went into your house. I would ask for a warrant. What is your probable cause if you're coming to my house? You got a warrant? Listen, I agree with what Murphy's doing. He's trying to keep us safe. But stay out of my house. There will be no indoor dining after 10 p.m., nor will there be any booze after 10 p.m. You can't even be at the bar now. You walk into a place, and there's a bar, and there's bar stools, and somebody's leaning against the bar. That is in violation of Murphy's zillionth executive order he just cut. Outdoor dining is still permissible, but it's pretty freaking cold if you're sitting outside, whether you have an igloo or not. I don't know about the igloo idea. I don't think the problem we have is with indoor dining. Might be a problem with the booze. I can see that, and you get a few in you start getting a little sloppy there, you start leaning in, you get your arm around your buddy, that sort of thing. That I can see. Now, the governor has given the options to the local municipalities to put an end to indoor and booze at 8 p.m. I don't think that'll be happening in Jersey City or in Tom's River, but you can bet somebody's town. Russ Baraka in Newark is turning into a dictator there. He's dropping the hammer left and right. I think everybody should probably follow Mayor Fulop in Jersey City. He was the most pragmatic from the get-go back in March to today. He's talking about, closing indoor eating in the bars at 10 o'clock. Not like COVID only comes out after 10. COVID's around. But the whole thing is up to us to make sure we're handling the COVID precautions. And if we're not, you're asking for it. I am astounded that I've gone 8 months without contracting COVID-19. But I do my best in my due diligence to protect myself. I'm going to break for commercial. You're watching The City Show. I'll be right back.
Stevens Jersey City Ford, located right off of NJ 440 North. Across the Hudson Mall is your one stop for all your automotive needs. Check out Ford's latest models like the 2020 Ford Fusion with its stylish looks and hybrid options, or the unparalleled high-performance 2020 Ford Mustang. The 2020 Ford F-150 Raptor is ready for those rugged off-road terrains with trail control. Need a mid-sized truck for your towing and hauling? The 2020 Ford Ranger will deliver. The 2020 Ford Escape is a luxury SUV that was made for comfort and adventure on the go. Returning is Ford's legendary Bronco, which takes you back to the true meaning of off-roading. They are now available for pre-order in our showroom or on our website. Let us help you find your next vehicle. Stevens Jersey City Ford, 201-432-7272.
We're back. City Show, me here, you there. Also, the governor has dropped the hammer on outdoor gatherings, no more than 150 people. There's some indoors is 25, I think. but there's a bunch of exceptions. Political reasons, you can get an exception to that. Houses of worship, you can get an exception to that. They're still at 25%. Right now, everybody else indoor, you're at 25 people. In your house, it's 10 people. Pharmaceutical, where are we with COVID-19? For that matter, one of the things we'll talk about in the demo taping today, there are count them, two vaccines out. Pfizer and Moderna is the companies, and both of them have a vaccine that's 95% effective. Let's get it. Let's get it out there. You know, it's amazing what the president, give Trump the credit for this with warp speed and all that program he had there. He's got a vaccine that the government invested in, ready to go pretty much, and gone through testing in like 8 months, where it normally would take 5 to 10 years. For that matter, listen to Boomer Esiason this morning. His son suffers from cystic fibrosis. He was talking about how long it took to get medicines for cystic fibrosis approved. It would take like 5, 6 years. This is truly warp speed. I am ready to go. You want to give it? I'll be the first one to take the shot. Nobody should be afraid about taking the shot. And don't listen to that screwball, Andrew Cuomo in New York, where he's talking about holding off on distribution until Biden is here. You know, we just lost 18 people in New Jersey to COVID. We don't need to do that. We have the vaccine. Get it manufactured. Let's get it out to the people. It's here in Jersey. Tell me where I go. I'll drive down and get it. 18 people died. And we're going to talk about delaying this. And this is what Cuomo's talking about in New York. He should resign. Mayor Fulop, he's going to take a different path. Again, he's most pragmatic. Most municipalities should probably watch what Fulop does in Jersey City. Like he said, you know, closing the bars at 10 o'clock or the restaurants at 10 o'clock doesn't mean COVID comes out at 10. And Steve is probably taking every proper step through this whole COVID-19 situation. Let's go to another controversial topic. The ICE contract with Hudson County. It is up for renewal next month. What is the ICE contract? The county of Hudson is paid to house illegal immigrants who have been jailed for whatever various reasons, being an illegal immigrant, committing crimes, whatever the case is. They are being jailed in Hudson County. It's a brand new jail out there. I guess we built it about 5 years ago, something like that. You see it on 1 and 9 when you ride by. ICE contract expires next month, and there are a lot of people who do not want the county to enter in a new agreement with ICE, no renewal. The contract right now is worth about $3.5 million. At one time I understand it was up to like $15 million. That's a lot of money. And it could be even more than the put it this way, it's $3.5+ million a year to the county. I'm not sure how many jail jobs are involved in this, but there's jobs involved in all. You know, it isn't as if the county of Hudson doesn't renew this contract, these inmates who are in there now and anybody else who is arrested are going to be let go because we don't have a contract with the county of Hudson. These illegal immigrants and inmates that they have now and people who will be arrested, they're going to go to a jail. They may not go to the Hudson County jail, but they're going to go to an Essex County jail or a Virginia jail or a Pennsylvania jail. They're going to jail. If necessary, they will go to a federal prison. The problem with that is, and it's twofold. First off, the county of Hudson could use the money. Brand new jail. Secondly, these individuals who are locked up, and a lot of them are from New York City. They were locked up in New York City and sent to Kearney. It's a hell of a lot easier getting to Kearney from New York City, or any of the 5 boroughs over there, than it is, say, to Virginia or Pennsylvania or wherever they would send these inmates or illegal immigrants that they're going to arrest. They're not going to let them go. That's not going to happen. We're not going to stop arresting illegal immigrants. That is going to continue. Now, the question is, should the county of Hudson, you want to say profit from this, and plus the individuals themselves being housed or we'll use the word jailed, in Kearney, is a lot easier for their loved ones or lawyers or proponents or whoever's involved to go see them. All right, we're going to break for commercial, and we'll come back and pick this up. You're watching The City Show. I'll be right back.
Good Friend Self Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self Storage. Let us be your good friend.
The Jersey City Medical Center. You know it for its award-winning, life-saving ambulance service. It's also your health hub, with health and wellness locations staffed with certified professionals all through Hudson County. The Jersey City Medical Center, here to help you with your healthy, here when you need us the most. The Jersey City Medical Center. Visit us on the net to learn more. Jersey City Medical Center, Robert Wood Johnson, Barnabas Health Facility. Let's be healthy together.
We're back. Pat O'Melia here, City Show. Got my lukewarm coffee. So a decision has to be made concerning housing illegal immigrants who have been jailed. The feds are going to pay good money to someone to house them, whether it's Kearney or Essex or Cumberland or Virginia. It doesn't have to be in New Jersey, but they have no problem busing these people to various states, as long as they have an ICE office around there somewhere. Should Hudson County profit from this? I think between both situations, one, the county gets the money, which goes to keep taxes down in Hudson County. You know, New Jersey is it is the highest tax state property tax-wise, and that's what the county's tapping into, property taxes. We can cut that somewhat with the Fed money for the housing of these illegal immigrants in the jail. And for the immigrants themselves, they're close to their loved ones, friends, legal aid, whatever the case is. If you pay county taxes, you'll understand this. If the county doesn't get the millions of dollars from the feds to house these inmates and people who will be future arrested, they're going to get the money from you, because they're not going to close the jail. That's not going to happen. And there's bond monies that are owed on that jail, and I didn't look into it, but I'm sure the bonds have probably another 20 or 25 years to go. So either we're going to use Fed monies to run the jail and house these illegal immigrants, or we're going to use your money. For that matter, Chairman Anthony Benieri made a comment, so why don't you ask the 12 mayors if they want their county taxes to go up? Of course not. Don't even ask the 12 mayors. Ask the people who pay the property taxes. They don't want this. And it's safe to say, with Joe Biden, he'll probably work very similar to how the Obama administration worked. And you may not know this, but the Obama administration arrested and deported more illegal immigrants than Trump did. For that matter, they called him the great deporter. So there should be more money to be made here. And yeah, you hate to say you're making money on this, but it's reality. It is. Money is being paid by the feds to the county of Hudson, and the county of Hudson used that money to keep the property taxes down. And that's it in a nutshell. I think it's a win-win. The county gets money. The inmates get to stay nearby, and they've done a lot of improvements in that jail. I've spoken to Bill O'Day many times. This jail is far different than it was 5 years ago. Like I said, the jail isn't closing. It is fairly new. There's heavy bonds on that, and the county can use those federal dollars that we're going to get to house these immigrants in the jails. That'll pay the salaries of the county employees, pays the bonds and other jail expenses, plus you're performing a public service. You're giving these people who have been arrested, and you, whatever way you want to go politically on it, we shouldn't be arresting these people. That is the law as it is right now. Now, if Joe Biden gets in and says, well, we're going to do away with ICE, and we're not going to, arrest any illegal immigrants, and that's a whole different deal. But how the law is, as we speak today, if they're not here legally, they are subject to arrest. They have to go somewhere. It is convenient for New York City, those 5 boroughs, and New Jersey also, to have them housed in Kearny. And I know the freeholders over the last 4 or 5 years have made a lot of improvements in that jail. It's not a house of horrors there. The people are treated well. The medical treatment is good. So again, I look at this as a win-win. Unless, listen, if they do away with ICE and they do away with the immigration laws, yeah, there's no contract to do. But as long as the laws are in place, and they are the laws of the land as of today, the Kearny jail is probably the best alternative than sending them to other parts of New Jersey or further west or further south to different states. So I see it as a win-win-win for the county of Hudson and for the people who are inmates there today and who will be inmates there in the future. And like I said, if they're from Queens or Brooklyn or West New York or Weehawken or Bergen County, wherever they're from, it's a lot easier to get to Kearny than it is to get to Virginia or Pennsylvania or points west or points south. If the law is in place for illegal immigration, then people will be arrested, and hopefully they're sent to Kearny instead of Virginia, where the loved ones and friends can't interact with them. That's my view on this. All right, we're going to break for commercial. You're watching The City Show. I'll be right back.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers the quality of life you deserve in 10 high-rise rental towers with amenities such as the on-site Newport Path subway, light rail and ferry service, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Sears, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams Supermarket is just outside your front door. A health and fitness club, spa, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. NewportNJ.com. Enjoy the New York skyline from Newport Town Square. Manhattan is just 1 path stop away or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Want to visit Newport? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. Go to NewportNJ.com for details. Newport has luxurious towers, great restaurants, shopping, New York skyline views, schools, playgrounds, a marina and yacht club, gym, spa, fine wine, fine living. It's incredible. It's you. NewportNJ.com. Newport. Live like you want.
Pinto Properties, Jersey City. Shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces that address your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment. Adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintoproperties.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Rama Jewelers, located in the Lyndhurst Shopping Center at 413 Valley Brook Avenue, Lyndhurst. Come for all your jeweler needs at Rama Jewelers, where you will find a fine selection of necklaces, earrings, rings, and bracelets. Choose from one of our complete sets, our many signature items, or find the perfect engagement ring. Come on down. That's Rama Jewelers at 413 Valley Brook Ave, Lyndhurst. Call 201-939-5784 or visit us online today.
We're back. Pat O'Melia here, you concerned resident there. So that's my 2 cents on the ICE contract. I think it's a win-win for all parties involved. Listen, nobody likes getting locked up, but if you're going to get locked up, at least you're close to home. One of my favorite people in Jersey City, the former mayor, 2-time mayor of Jersey City, Gerald McCann. Either love Jerry or hate Jerry. There's really no in-between with him. He wrote a letter to the Jersey Journal concerning Liberty State Park. There's a lot of talk. There are a lot of factions going on right now about Liberty State Park and the future of Liberty State Park. Who should run Liberty State Park? Who should have the say in it? For transparency reasons, I believe in monetizing parts of the park. It costs about $4 or $5 million a year to operate and maintain Liberty State Park. If I can get that money from a golf course or a marina, I'm in. It's less money. Again, I don't have to tell you this, but we're the highest property tax state in the land. any way we can kind of chip away at that, I'm in. We can get $5 million a year instead of taking that of your tax dollars. That's a win for you. You know, it's the same thing what I said with the marijuana. And we're going to be selling that. We're going to be taxing it. There'll be a tax and a fee probably. All that money should have been dedicated to property tax relief. I believe in monetizing. Listen, Sam Pessin, known Sam for years. I respect everything he does. I consider him a friend. I understand where he's going from with Liberty State Park and where he's coming from with Liberty State Park. We don't all agree on everything. Jerry McCann in his letter was right now another thing about contamination, contaminated land in Liberty State Park, you know, a couple of 100 acres, a lot of land. And for years and years, I knew the land, it's Jersey City, the land was contaminated. I had thought the land was contaminated from our industrial past. This area of Liberty State Park has a very varied history. From our railroad days to our industrial days, there was a huge explosion there, the Black Tom explosion. Has a varied past. I didn't know that our own government was dumping in the 80s at Liberty State Park. Jerry McCann, as the mayor of Jersey City, had sued the Army Corps of Engineers, the federal government, the state, all these agencies that were involved. According to Gerald McCann, now listen, you'd love to hate him, but he is a walking fountain of knowledge. Municipal government, the history of Jersey City, county government, he can go fed with you also. Smart guy. I had no idea that the Army Corps of Engineers, the Port Authority, and the New Jersey DEP were dumping contaminants in Jersey City and what would become Liberty State Park. Now, this was happening in the 80s, 1980 through 1987, according to former Mayor Gerald McCann. And this isn't like, you know, the 70s and the 60s. Whoa, we didn't know, you know, we're just dumping, that's why we contaminated the whole state. In the 80s, we were pretty much up on this. For that matter, in my youth, I had went into business myself back in 1984, buying and selling and repairing tractor trailers. And I opened a shop in Bridgewater, New Jersey, right on the border of Manville, which Manville had its own problems with contaminants, with asbestos. We opened the shop, we were repairing trailers, and one day, all these guys came in with spacesuits walking around the property. I went up to this guy and said, is there something wrong? There's nothing to be concerned about. I said, well, why are you in a spacesuit, you know? It turns out the land was chock full of PCB and various other contaminants was an old Singer sewing machine assembly plant. The government took it over a few times, made torpedoes and bombs, so there were a lot of contaminants. It is astounding that this dumping went on the banks of the Hudson River by our own government agencies. Now, there should be no question at all as to who has to clean up Liberty State Park. And you're looking at the Army Corps of Engineers, the Port Authority, and the state DEP. And like I said, in the 80s, we were well aware of contaminating. And also another thing that Jerry McCann brought up, and I kind of forgot over the years, the PJP dump on 440. The Archdiocese of Newark owned it. It burned for like 30 years. And he was one of the guys that brought the lawsuit against the Archdiocese. So we got a long, varied history with illegal dumping in Jersey City. But it was amazing to find out it was our own government. All right, we're out of show. You be good. You be safe. I'm Pat O'Melia. I'll talk to you next week. Good night.